also need my thingamabob up. There we go. Fabulous. Welcome, welcome to day number 34 of the Naruto. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. This was good. It's actually supposed to be day 35, but I was not feeling at all good on Sunday. So I'm like, I'm gonna skip. And as you'll be able to hear from my voice today that I am still not feeling good. But I think we're almost over it, hopefully. And we're just gonna carry on. We're just gonna keep doing what we do best, which is playing Naruto, eating ice cream because I've got lovely, fabulous. I've got lovely, delicious, fabulous vanilla soft ice cream, low carb, low sugar. I've got some frozen mango, and then topped it all off with a big palpitating dollop full of high sugar caramel sauce. Not too much though. I do, we need everything in moderation here, don't we? But anyway, so got that. Lovely, delicious. We've got a giant big cup of water. Oh, anyway, got that. And then we got alright. And that is the roll call for today. I've gone down from my normal. I did upgrade to 3 glasses of water. But I've downgraded again. More so because most of my glasses are actually up for wash, need to be washed. So that's pretty much it. Actually no, I lie. Most of our mugs need to be washed. Water glasses are actually fine. For once. Crazy as that sounds. Anyway. Hope you're all doing fabulous. Do I have... Oh! I've got updates! Oh my goodness. Do I have the updates for you? So okay, so... Oh my god, there's actually eventful things this week. Like, I mean, probably the grand scheme of things, probably not, but anyway, so to top it all the day off, I have, which I developed maybe late on Tuesday or something. Oh goodness, it was nasty. Well, it wasn't nasty, but had worse. It was yes, I've had it ever since, and which is lovely. It also means then I can't go on the big extension, but hey, that's fine. As gutted as I am, it means that I can do lots of streaming. Which will be fabulous. Make up for it. Anyway, so there's that. Well, I forgot. We were thinking about painting the room some colour. Well, actually, no, it won't be just some colour. We're thinking a lovely dark slate grey. It's going to look fabulous. So we're going to go paint shopping at the weekend. So you will slowly see this room transform. In fact, my streams might actually end up being in another room entirely while we finish painting. Because knowing me, I will get paint on important things if they're in the vicinity. If they're 10 meters away, they will still get paint on them. So, I've got to know myself, and for me knowing myself, I know that much. So, yeah, so that will be fun. So streaming might actually be while being painted, but that probably won't be at least for like a good couple of few weeks. So, but it's just on the horizon. What else do we got? We had we've got the local council elections going on, so take mine very seriously. Because we've moved technically to a new district, we've got no idea about the mayor or any of the council people like with completely fresh eyes to this all, so I can't really go off anything other than the best way of voting, which is read the people's blurbs. Read the people's blurbs. Anyone who's got a cool picture, they get into the pool. Anyone who talks about anything to do with like conspiracy theories, gone. Basically completely arbitrary reasons why I won't vote for them, so I just go through with my vote. I go like, cross off I'm not voting for you, or cross off I'll vote for you. And then at the end, whoever's not crossed out gets my vote for. So I've done that. I actually do like that. And I'm also probably one of the very few people in the world who, when they get picked for jury service, when I get, so I used to be like, oh beans, jury service, really? But then, the last time, I actually got picked to be on the jury, and I was on the jury. I didn't get the whole like, objection. As I walked up to the stand, I'm like, oh beans, didn't look shady enough, that's okay. Anyway, so I was on the jury, and I loved it. Like, it wasn't a murder or anything, it wasn't anything horrendous. People were hurt, but it wasn't, I don't want to minimise their, what happened either by just saying, oh, nothing crazy, but, you know, it wasn't a murder, let's just say that. It wasn't like the big ones. It wasn't the big ones. But I loved it. I actually loved it. And I mean, part of that's probably because, you know, I'm a huge fan of the Ace Attorney game. So I kind of probably like felt like I was, you know, like, oh, I can use the knowledge that I've learned in the Ace Attorney games. You know, and I can be like, I can try and find the contradictions in their testimonies and all that sort of thing. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and they give you a giant piece of, give you like a giant notepad as well. So I'm like, okay. They even expect us to take notes. I am loving it. I am having the best time. Anyway, so, long story short, next time I get picked for jury service, I'm not going to be like, jury service? I'm going to be like, yes, hopefully I get picked. and now that that's the case, I won't get picked from here on out. Okay, so there's that. What else have we got? Oh, the Bake Off. Oh my god. Okay, so we are at work. We are in the Bake Off round 2. We are in the second round, and so I went up against a guy who I thought was gonna win. He does create some make some amazing stuff. What was I gonna say? So I perfected my brandy snap baskets. I made the baskets, they were perfect size. I made my white chocolate mousse. I'd actually never made it before, and surprisingly it turned out really well. So I made my white chocolate mousse, and then I got my little brandy snap baskets. So the night before, I'm piping my mousse into the brandy snap baskets. I sliced up strawberries like really thinly, then cut the slices in half, and then use like the tip. And then so I put like 2 tips like side by side, kind of like a fan shape. They were looking sexy. And then I bought these like little candy flower things from the supermarket. These little like tiny little coloured sugar flowers, and I put the 2 sugar flowers on of different colours in front of the strawberries. They looked an absolute treat. They looked delightful. Oh my goodness, they were fabulous. So, you know, I make them up. I put them on my plate, ready to go. So they're ready to go. Wake up in the morning. Go for work. I take my pizza pan out of the fridge. You know, because I'm gonna put them on a fancier plate when I get to work. Go to work. I'm looking at my brandy snaps. I'm like, the colouring on the underside of the flowers is coming off very, very slightly onto the mousse, but that's fine. You wouldn't notice if you didn't know. So that's all good. The very, very, like, the tips of the strawberries are starting to wilt slightly, but that's okay. That's okay. You wouldn't know if you weren't looking. They still look an absolute treat. I get to work and I'm like, okay, right, let's get the stuff on the plate ready to go, you know, ready for 10 o'clock. I lift up my go to pick up my first brandy snap, and my heart did not plummet, has never plummeted so fast as when I picked it up and it just went like squish. My brandy snap basket went squish and my heart sunk, and I instantaneously knew why it went squish. Is because I realised, because it's technically really probably the first time I actually made brandy snaps. So now I know, and probably everyone who makes brandy snaps normally will probably be like, oh my god, you nutty. You don't pre-make your brandy snaps, like with the cream and everything the night before, because your brandy snaps get a bit soggy, and when they get a bit soggy, they get very, very soggy. So my brandy snap baskets had lost all crunch. All crunch. And like holding on by the will of Jesus himself. It was, oh my goodness. Oh my good golly gracious. So I had 19 brandy snaps. I managed to get onto a plate, still 99% formed, about 13 of them, so I lost 6 brandy snaps. Because when I tried to lift them up, they were just crumpled in my hand. They just disintegrated. I was so distraught. Like, I've put so much love into these brandy snap baskets, and because I'm such a nub, because I'm an amateur, I didn't realise that it gets soggy overnight if you put cream on them. And it's like in hindsight, it's so obvious. But why I didn't even think. I think in my haste and my excitement, you know, didn't even cross my mind. But now, hey, at least now I know. First off, but the other thing is, so my opponent, he made these, I don't know if it's, I'm pretty sure, it must have been other places as well, but the Cadbury caramel, like the caramel milk chocolate one, and then caramel truffles, so, like caramel ball truffles, and they were fabulous. And he like coated them in some like a straw, like strawberry nerds, but it wasn't, but like kind of like a strawberry raspberry crumb thing. Some in like with like those little like not chocolate chips, but like the little like cylinder chocolate chips, like chocolate. I don't even know what they're called. Like they're like chocolate chips, but like this really really thin cylinder looking things. But anyway. So he made those, and they were delicious. He thought that they were way too sweet, and I'm like, bruh, I got a sweet tooth. Like, I'm not allowed to vote because it's my week, but I would have voted like 10 out of 10. They were fabulous. It was amazing. And then, so I'm like, I walked in the morning, and I'm like, bruh, you have done this. Like, I have fallen at the final hurdle. My life is forever ruined. This is the day that I fall. But, by some twist of fate, my brandy snaps managed to clinch the day. I won. I won by some miracle of God. And so I am now in the finals of the Bake Off, and I'm so immensely thrilled. I am immensely thrilled. So next week we have, next week is the last like semi-final, which I'm looking forward to. And then after that will probably be the final, or that might be delayed a week because I know that a few people are on leave, including myself. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I made so my original idea was gonna be, it might even still be my idea, because I was gonna do a peach and vanilla cheesecake, but with like clear, like you get like a clear gelatin mix, and then I was gonna get some like edible flowers or like a really pretty strawberry arrangement on the tops, and then you pour this gelatin mix over the top and it's completely clear, so you can see your decoration through it. It looks absolutely fantastic. It's on like one of those like Korean, Japanese ASMR cooking channels that you always see on YouTube. They are just fabulous, they are gorgeous. So I was going to win 10 out of 10 on presentation, 10 out of 10 on creativity, and of course, as always, 10 out of 10 on taste. So that's the idea. But I was looking around, I don't even know what was I looking? Oh, how to make gelatin discs. Then I came across a recipe for an entremet idea, and it was like this little like slice thing, and it was chocolate Genoese sponge in the bottom. Then you get a layer of chocolate mousse, and then you get another layer of Genoese sponge, and then you get like a hazelnut ganache layer, and then you get berry mousse, and then you've got like gelatin on top. It was like 6-layer thing. Oh, it looks incredible. Absolutely insane. And I'm like, that would definitely win. But oh my goodness, it's an absolute nightmare. It looked like an absolute nightmare to make. But it'll be one of those things. If you pulled it off, you've like automatically won. It's just that good. Yeah, because I'll be up against one of the people in the final. She was like, she's good. Like she makes some good stuff. Like she made a creme brulee tart for her semi-final thing. She was it was incredible. It was amazing. So oh goodness, I really like the finals is going to be like you have to be on your A game. You've got to pull out. It's going to be an absolute showstopper. So I'm like having to decide between now and then. Am I gonna stick with my original cheesecake idea? And, is the cheesecake gonna do it? Even though I know, after listening, eavesdropping on some people, that cheesecakes aren't particularly, cheesecakes aren't like a favourite dessert of a lot of people in the team. So I'm like, would just the fact that cheesecakes don't tend to be what people go for, I don't want that bias to hurt my chances. So I'm thinking I practice that entremet idea, even though it's going to absolutely break the bank. Try that idea out, and if it works and it looks amazing, then I'll do it. I'll do it for the final, because it was fabulous. Because I need to win this. Now that I've hit the finals, I need to win the finals. I have to win it. I have to win it. I'm gonna be very, very upset now if I don't win. Even though it's just a friendly bake-off. It's like, no, I need to win this. I've proven twice, and even one of my disasters ended up winning. So I know, I have been. Excuse me. I know I have it in me to do it, and I may have found my calling as a pastry chef. But, yeah, so that will be probably 2-3 weeks from now. So I'll be able to keep y'all updated on how that is. And in fact, I might even get the boy to help, because I trust his judgment on a lot of things. absent. There we go, finally. Okay, right, what do we next? Krishna, it's Sasuke with the Sharingan. Oh yeah, and I do apologise if I start like having to like blow my nose sometimes. I have got a cold. So I do apologise in advance. Oh goodness. But Naruto waits for no one. Oh goodness, yeah. Yes, I'm very, very, very excited for the finale of the bake-off. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so that's Monday. What happened on Tuesday? Oh my gosh, work was just absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Because we had about 3 people who were off, who had gone on that. 3 of my team had all gone to, and it's about half the team, gone to a client site up north for 2 days. And honestly, I swear to God, all of our clients just waited for them to go before they started putting in support request after support request, like question after question. I'm just like, bruh. I've done like 3 extra hours this week, even though it doesn't actually sound like much. But it's been a long day. Long week and a long day. I'm expecting even more tomorrow. It's just madness. But so I've managed to survive. Barely. I wouldn't be surprised if just the stress of it has lowered my immune system enough for the cold to take hold. Because I do notice actually that I tend to get sick always when I've had super stressful days or weeks at work. I tend to get sick like 2 days later. So I wouldn't be surprised if me, because I'm very, very, very easy to stress. I am stressed about anything. Not to the point where I get like, I'm not an angry stress. I'm kind of like an indifferent stress. Like when I get stressed, I just kind of just like, I don't get angry at things. I lose. I'm very like, by nature, I am a people pleaser. Like I will be an absolute doormat for whoever needs me to be a doormat. And then I'll say yes to everything. I'll be the nice person, or the most patient, calm person in the house. When I'm stressed, like hyper stressed, I will just be like, yep, no, sorry, I can't get onto that now. Like, I'm probably like, I turn into like a normal person. I'm stressed. Yeah, I'm just like, no, can't get to that person. Can you please go and ask someone else? Like, I'm like that sort of person. There's only one day ever I've never, and the stresses I have been in this job, which are, it has its moments. The good weeks are fantastic weeks, and the bad weeks are rubbish. But yeah, you make do, swings and roundabouts, as my boss says. And what was I gonna say? But I've never had a stressful day. Like, there was a job I had, God, how long would it have been? Not 5 years ago now. Let's say 2022. Or was it 2015? God, it was 7 years ago. Oh my God. Feels like yesterday. I had a job that I had, like, my first job technically. There was a day where I was the only one on my team who turned up. And everyone, like, I was getting asked to do stuff by everyone. I was in the quality control department. So, and then the way that the whole building was set up, because I had to be running up and down stairs like every 10 seconds, try and grab like product samples to test before they keep running it on the production line. And then I had like all the office, I had people in the office being like, oh, can you go and check this? Can you have a look at this? And can you do this? Can you check this? I need this done now. And I'm just like, what? But I have to, I can, but I also need to be doing my actual normal day job that I have to do for legal reasons. I have to be doing this stuff. And they're like, oh, but we need this done now. I'm just like, what? I'm just like running around being like pulled every which way direction, with absolutely no one no one caring that I'm the only person on the team. And it got to the point that I was just like, people would just be, when people pass, I'm like, hey, how's it it going? Like everyone I walk past, even if it's like the second time I've seen them that day, I'm like still like, hey. And I was just like walking past everyone, just gave them a, like when they kind of like stopped, I was like, just gave them a look. I'm like, don't talk to me. Like, just don't talk to me. I don't want to know. Like, I wasn't like angry. I would have never snapped. Like, I've never snapped at people at work. I've never ever said something angry to someone at work. Ever. No matter how like fuming I might be inside, never ever had even like a stern word actually. When I think about it. Anyway, I mean, there's moments where I probably should have, but to make a point, but nah. Anyway. But yeah, so it's never ever gotten to the point where I've snapped at someone because I've been stressed. But yeah, it was on that particular day I was just looking at people like, okay, bye. Yeah, so, which makes it all like, I mean, it probably sounds so like pathetic compared to how stressful I know some people's jobs were. Then again, actually, I lied. The day I'm thinking of was actually overwritten by my next job. No, my next job? The next company I work for. There was a day where it was another one of those days where it was just I was just being put through the absolute ringer. And being in health and safety, oh my lordy. Okay, all I will say is, you know, there's some people who say, you know, I can never work in or I'll never work in customer service, or I'll never work in retail. Working in a supermarket and working in a supermarket health and safety. Actually, no, working in any job at the supermarket now that I think about it, but this job in particular was a supermarket health and safety job. Oh my god. Have I never been A, more out of my depth, B, more stressed, C, more frustrated at the lack of common sense, compassion, brain that the general public has. Like, I know that the general public can just be the dumbest collective, but you don't realise just how bad it is until you actually work in a supermarket. I don't think any job other than a supermarket, or then again, I've only ever worked in a production facility, a supermarket, and then IT jobs. So I'm probably like I don't have the breadth of experience as others, but from what I have experienced, if you want to hate people, you work at a supermarket, because my good golly gracious. Anyway, this one particular day, it started off as any other day, stressed, so much paperwork to do, not enough time, nor manpower to do it, so that's always fun. Then I had, then what did I have? What did I have? I had my boss, who, bless her soul, she just really wanted to help everywhere, but to the sometimes her priorities seem to get a bit conflicted. Anyway, she was the HR person. She had a whole bunch of job interviews that day. They suddenly need some help on checkouts. She goes to checkouts and then tells me to go in and while I'm at checkouts, can you go and do my job interview for me? I'm like, wait, what? I was actually going on my break, but okay, yeah, I'll just go and do your 5 job interviews. I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking these people, or how to do a job interview. I mean, I've been in one in terms of me even getting this job, but from the other side of the table, no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. But I did it, I winged it. Anyway, I think I did okay. I mean, they were as nervous as you know anyone go for a job interview is, but I did it, so that was fun. And then so that was great. So then I had a late break and I had a whole bunch of paperwork that arrived on my desk by the time I got back. And then I get some, can you come down to the car park? Oh, actually no, because there was a building across the other side of the road that was kind of like a off-site storage, like a sort of excess products and stuff was over there. someone's just driven into the wall, into the giant, like, someone's just driven into the window. Someone's just driven into the window. How is it possible? So we go over there, there's glass all over the place, there's a chick who's like absolutely inconsolable, in tears, you know. So what had happened was she was in the car park of the offsite storage, where she shouldn't have been, there's no parking. And then she reversed into, as she was reversing out of the car park, she like overdid it and reversed into the window. And to make matters even worse for her, bless her soul, I hope wherever she is doing well. But bless her cotton socks, she didn't have a license, it was her boyfriend's car. It was, you know, and so everything was wrong about that situation. Everything she did was wrong. But bless her soul, she was absolutely in bits. And me just being me, my heart bleeds for everyone. And I mean, I couldn't be, as much as I know that I couldn't be mad at her, because I know if I was in the same position I would be an absolute wreck. Absolute wreck. So I'm just like, you know, so I had to get all the details, and then I had to order the glass people to come and fix the window, and then we had to order people, because it's our offsite storage, technically you can get into the building now without thinking there's a giant gaping hole in the wall, and so we had to like order people to stand, I had to organise people to stand there, guarding this place. I had to file police reports, I had to do, it was so much paperwork, and then when I got back in, then, you know, just like 2 hours later I get back in, and then my boss is like, oh, can you please call up the head office and do all this stuff. I'm just like, why do I need to be calling up head office to what? And then it's like, oh, and then I, you know, get back to my desk, it's like, oh, by the way, an elderly person's collapsed on the ground, can you please go and do a big investigation? I was like, I just had like, it's like 5 hours past my lunch break. Can I please have some lunch, please? Can I have a breakfast? Like everything, just like everything happens, and it's just constant. And it's just like and because it's health and safety, it's just mountains of paper. Someone gets a fucking paper cut, and there's about 5 pieces of paper that you have to fill out about the paper cut. Because, you know, how did they get the paper cut? Were they trained to breathe? So they didn't. So we're fine if they got a paper cut. You know, do they know what paper is to then know that you can get paper cuts from it? What controls are we putting in place so they don't get paper cuts next time? And then you got to file out that thing, and then you got to enter it in on an electronic database. And it's just, you know, and then so you'll get like, you know, you get 3 old ladies collapsing, and boom, you've now 50 pieces of paper left to go. You know, and they can all drop within the space of an hour. You know, and you've got 8 hours in your day. So what else is gonna? You're dreading what's gonna happen in the next 7. Say it ain't so. Like, you know, we're gonna have a whole box collapse on someone. Oh yeah, we almost did, and that's a whole other piece of paperwork. Hey, did the box almost collapse on someone? Well, that's its own piece of paperwork. It's just like, my good golly gracious. And look, at the end, like, I understand fully, like, health and safety as a function, and all the controls and everything. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe and see our loved ones, and our loved ones want us to come home safe so they can see us, you know. We don't want, you know, we want to stop people dying, essentially. So it is extremely important as a function that, you know, health and safety needs to exist, you know, and it's not something you half-ass. You know, you do it right, you do it right. Oh my god, the amount of paperwork is unbelievable. Yeah, and that job in particular, I was actually doing like 3 people's jobs, so it was even worse, because then when they say, oh, and by the way, you're doing maintenance as well, I'm like, oh, fabulous. I'm in an ancient building that falls apart every 10 seconds. You know, you put a screw in and then the next day, oh, the screw's fallen out. Can you order in an engineer to come and put a screw back in? And you're like, well, the screw's fallen out every day now for the past 5 months. Maybe we should look at replacing the thing with a new one. Oh no, that was like, oh, but the engineer that we've now paid $10,000 doesn't. You know, it was a nightmare. And like I say, completely out of my depth. Like that was definitely a job I did not want. It was, you know. It was customer service, but like the general public, so it's already rubbish, you know, and it's, you know, rubbish pay for your job, you know, you're doing the work of 3 people but getting paid half minimum wage, not actually feels like it, and it's just, oh, it's just awful. It was just so awful, you know, and I'm not at all I say a fast worker. Now that may come across as, that may sound like that I'm lax, but when I say I'm not a fast worker, I like to do things right the first time. So I will take the time to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. I don't work 50 miles an hour, able to multitask 50 different things, you know, talking to someone on the phone with one hand while writing out a report with the other. I'm not that kind of person. I'm taking the time I like, and also just, I struggle to be able to really focus properly on something while having 50 things racing through my mind at the other time. So, you know, and I'm also not, like, hands-on-y practical minded, if you know what I mean. So something like maintenance, we're dealing with like machinery and whatnot. It's just no idea. I can science it out, I can work it out what I'm supposed to be looking at or how it's all supposed to fit together, but like really I'm completely got no clue. So that was a job that I did, and I finally got out of it, and I've moved out to the job I'm in now, which is infinitely better. Something I genuinely enjoy and I hope I'm good at. But yeah, so that was all fun and dandy. That was all fun and games. But yeah, no, it's just, oh my goodness, the general public. And it's kind of just, it makes you just like I'm the kind of, and maybe it's just me being a low maintenance person anyway, and you know, the boys low maintenance as well, so it's just that we used to not, you know, maybe it's, and it's also I suppose the way we've been raised as well, we're used to not having everything first off, you know, and but not, what's the word? Like there's certain things that you're like, oh, you don't have that, or oh, that's not there, or that's something else. Oh, okay, never mind, move on to the next one. We don't like, oh, excuse me, why is this not here? I expect this here. Why have you not done that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like we don't. We pick up. Well, it's not necessarily picking up battles, but it's just like we know what's important, really, and what's not. We don't make big deal, like mountains out of molehills, essentially. Or at least I hope I don't. I try to anyway. And it's just like we just get customers just complaining about the most banal, inconsequential, arbitrary nonsense, and you're like, bruh, who cares? like, and not from a, and I mean that like, not from a, you know, oh, you've had like a giant sharp thing sticking out of the wall, and it almost couldn't graze me, but it didn't. Like, obviously that's something that you want to address because you actually don't want people being hurt. Or it's not a case of, you know, because the buying team had it off week, so you actually haven't got any stock. You know, there's certain things where, you know, if someone complains, then you're just like, okay, fully honest, like, you know, completely understandable why it's a complaint. We'll do our best to fix it, you know, that sort of stuff, that's fine. But then you just get people who are like, oh, I'm looking for this package and I'm looking for one that's not made in this one particular country. Right. It'll be like something that's like, what's a good example? You try and find a good example. This isn't an actual example of what it was, but cause I can't actually remember what it was, but it was something like, it's kind of like asking for, it's kind of like going to like the international section and going to like the Japanese noodles, or the, you know, the proper Japanese, and be like, is there any things that's made in New Zealand? And you're like, what? You want like authentic, proper, you know, Japanese ramen noodle, like soba noodles or udon noodles or something that's authentic, and the entire packaging is in Japanese except for the English label that they have to put on it. And you're asking if and absolutely, like, you need one, like, you need one that's made in New Zealand. Like, you will not, your life cannot proceed any further if you don't have some noodles of these that is made in New Zealand. Like, it's just an absolute life or death situation for them. They just can't function. And you're just like, I'm really sorry, and they're like, well, you know, I would have thought. And then you're just sitting there like, what am I going to do about it? Oh, sure, I'm just going to literally just call up, in fact, I'm going to wave my magic wand, and your New Zealand-made authentic Japanese noodles are going to be there on the shelf for you. Just let me go find the magic wand, lady. I'll go do that. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry, little cotton socks, about it. I have your back. You know, it's just like, oh, it's like, oh, I can see that there's this out of stock sign on the shelf. Do you have any out back? And I'm like, it says that it's out of stock, which genuinely means that when you're out of stock of something, there's none in the building, because the stock, you're out of it, you know. So that's generally what out of stock means. You know, we put these signs on the shelf because just to tell our customers, you know, give them the decent courtesy of telling them that whatever product they're looking for, and if they happen to be this one, we have none. It's out of stock. And then it's almost as if like you're talking some other language to them. It's almost like they can't fathom. They can't even, their brain just can't comprehend the idea that the specific thing that they're looking for isn't there. It's almost like incomprehensible. It's like they've wandered into dreamland or a hellscape or something. It's just, and you're just sitting there like, what do you expect? Like, I literally, hey lady, you're holding me up to get back to my lunch. Oh, which I'll have a, that's enough, like I need it. This is now just going to turn into big rants about my last job. But I need to get this all out. I could probably go the full 2 hours talk about, right, we're just going to spend the whole 2 hours talking about my last job. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be very careful not to name names and where this place is. If you know me, you know what I'm talking about, but for those who don't, I'll keep it a secret. So, anyway, so, yeah, customers are just an absolute nightmare. Absolute fucking nightmare, to deal with. So, what else have we got? What other great loveliness do we have? Oh, if someone has to reach too far back for something, they, if they have to physically move something, they have to like push a box slightly to the side to get something, too much. How dare you? That was just, you obviously have no care for the customers. How dare you? We had that. What else do we have? I'm sure we had something else. We have obvious sabotages. People will like, we have a special if a customer brings a product back but we suspect that they've like damaged it themselves, we call sabotage on it, but obviously we refund them because we're not going to say yeah, nah, to their face, because then they get even more magic. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of another one. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of another one. Oh, fabulous. Okay, but yeah, so long story short, customers are done. The next one is that, in fact, I'll segue to the recent one I just thought of. So we had a customer bought a lovely chicken. In fact, actually, the butcher in the deli department were by far the biggest fans, purely because when it comes to chickens and meats and obvious perishables. Oh my goodness, it's just a headache waiting to happen. So anyway, we have a lovely chicken. This chicken, as you know, is an extremely delicious, but extremely volatile meat in the sense that it can kill so easily. You know, put it on fortune fire because it can kill. It is, yeah. Anyway, it is very, very, very easy to for it to become food safety accident. Because that was another slight part of my job too, was food safety, which was anyway, which is probably if there's any job that I would much be in, it's food safety. It's actually worse than health and safety. So not really. Anyway, moving on. So a lady. Right, yeah, okay. She bought some chicken, she bought some cooked chicken. And then she took it home and she, you know, opened it, whatever. She then makes a Facebook post. Oh, that's right, we had the best Facebook posts. Oh, goodness. So she puts a Facebook post saying, I am frankly disgusted at the complete lack of care and food safety. Are these people trying to kill us? You know, this is disgusting. How dare you? Because there was maggots in her chicken. And you're probably thinking, oh my goodness. Like, why the hell would you sell a lady contaminated chicken? And so, you know, it was a valid point. She'd bought it that day, you know, he's like, yeah, okay. Everyone in the know, everyone's familiar with how chicken and meat even operates, is that your meat, in fact, not even just meat, food in general, no, not even food in general, it's too much of a generalization. Chicken, let's just say low score chicken, is more often than not, which no, that's an assumption, I don't want to say that. Your chicken can potentially eventually have insects, flies, lay eggs in your meat, and they just like it. That's those eggs can hatch into larvae at any point in time, but and you're probably thinking, oh my god, why would I ever buy meat again? And so the conditions that the meat is in when it's being stored, when it's being processed, when it's being sold and whatnot, those eggs are just like, they ain't going, like, they're not developing. They're cold, which makes them sleepy, and makes the eggs sleepy, you know what I mean. You know, and so, you know, then when you cook the meat, like, they're dead. Like, you're not suddenly gonna have, you're not eating chicken and you've got little baby bees inside here. It's like, it's essentially, you'll never know they were there and they don't actually do much. Like, you know, they're not actually contaminated. I mean, no, like it is, but you know what I mean. You've got nothing to worry about, essentially. But when you leave that chicken, open, exposed, other flies can land on the chicken and plant their little eggies, or the eggs inside the chicken can hatch. You know, especially when you leave it in a room temperature for multiple hours. Then your chicken's gonna be not gonna be very nice. So that is what this lady said. So she's like, this is disgusting, this is horrendous, this is horrible, how dare you? But she didn't tell us until we talked to her on the phone. Not me, thank goodness. I hate to have that conversation. Too soft. But little do we know, she had taken the chicken home, she had opened it, she had left it sitting there on the bench in the blistering summer heat in a fly-ridden house for like 4 or 5 hours. So not only, you know, if the flies weren't there, you know, if the maggots weren't there, your chicken's already starting to, your chicken's probably, you know, you shouldn't be in that stuff anyway if you're leaving it exposed in the sun. Yeah, goodness gracious. Anyway, so so we called her up because, you know, it's what you should be doing with when a customer gives such a scathing review like that. And you know, you say, okay, tell us, you know, what happened. We're so, you know, curious to know. So she gives you all the details. You're like, where did you effing go? Of course there's maggots on it because you left it in such crap conditions, and you left it in the perfect, you know, you gave them the perfect environment. You gave them the environment that they loved so much. Oh, but effing course you could, like, God. You know, it's kind of like you leave water out in the Antarctic and you're like, oh, I'm disgusted that this water didn't stay as a liquid. How dare you? You know, it's like, you're just like, lady, you being rubbish. Then again, that sort of knowledge about flies and eggs and chicken isn't generally, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a well-known thing. It's kind of something that you learn when things like this happen. But, you know, we educated her. So she acknowledged that yes, yeah, I probably contributed to that. She took her Facebook post down, thank goodness. You know, realised the error of her ways. And, you know, we gave her a refund and whatnot, and I'm sure she went back the next day to get another chicken. But, oh, you just get some, like, the whole, like, customer's always right kind of thing. It's just kind of like, it's just what? It's just, it's like, you know, they can kick a box over. You know, you get a customer who will pick up a box off the shelf and throw it at someone's head, you know. And rather than you, like, saying, why the hell did you do that, you then have to, you know, part of your investigation has to be, why was the box placed in such a position that they could have easily picked it up and thrown it? And then now you have to revise your box positionings on the shop floor. Why? Why can't the system just use common sense and realise that that customer's stupid? They're just so stupid. Why? You know, it's just, anyway, so that's that one. And then there was something else I was, oh, and that's the other thing too. This is partly a gripe just on the system. Anyway. But because you know, you got your little time clock machine. You go to lunch, go to your breaks, you time clock it out. Actually, just on your lunch. You do a little punchy station, and there were 2 punchy stations. One is by the checkouts, and one is on the other side of the building, upstairs where the lunchroom is. So you are meant to clock in at the nearest station to your workstation. So for all the people at the checkouts in the office, it was at the checkout station, and all the people who were in like the department, like the bakery, the lunchroom, whatever, they were doing the lunchroom. Fair enough, all good. No, not a problem. So, you know, if you got your 15-minute, you know, if you've got a half an hour break, you should not be clocking back in 31 minutes, you know, or not even 30 minutes .2. It needs to be 30 minutes or under. You should be clocking back in because, you know, time theft. Oh, they loved this phrase, time theft. It was an evil, ugly phrase. Anyway, because if you've spent 31 minutes on your lunch, you're stealing time from the company. You know, we're now having to pay for your tardiness. How dare you? Yeah, it's very much that. So, yeah, it's all well and good. So, you know, little old you know, your office worker, maybe a checkout worker, you know, you go and clock out. Go and clock out at your little, go and clock out at your little coffee station. You then have to walk through the store, you know. You're technically not allowed to walk through the checkouts and back because you're disrupting the flow of customers. It has to be at the same flow, like the same direction that a customer generally walks. You have to go around the store the way that a customer would generally walk when they come through the entrance. I can understand that. Like, I can understand where that comes from. You know, you don't want to be walking into people, you know, and you want the customer experience to be great, so you don't, you know, get in there. That's fine. That's all good. You know, so you walk into the lunchroom and suddenly you're stopped by a customer because they've got a question. You know, and you're not going to say, sorry, I'm on my lunch break, because then you get in trouble because you have, you know, because the customer's asked you a question, you refuse them. That's not good customer service. So, anyway, to answer their question, you get to the lunchroom, it's now like, I don't know, say 7 minutes into your lunch break. So, okay. So, technically I've got 23 minutes now of a lunch, of a break. I would like to take 30, but I can't because I've clocked out. So you do that, you go and have your lunch break. It's now, let's say you clocked out at 1 and it's now 1:28. Right, it's going to take me 2 minutes to walk back through the store, you know, following the flow of customers. It's going to take me 2 minutes to walk back to the store and clock back in. I've got plenty of time. Right, let's go. So you walk downstairs. As soon as you step out of the door that leads you upstairs, another customer stops you, and then again, you can't refuse them because bad customer service if you do. So you answer their question. Okay, right. For some reason, it only took 30 seconds, so I can make it. It's 1:29. I can make it back. You then get stopped by another customer. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Right, it's alright. Okay, so it's another short question. Okay, it's still 1:29. I think I can make it. And then another customer sees that you finished helping that other customer, and they say, "Oh, excuse me, I've also got something." You just can't seem to find this thing, and you're like, "Oh, it's on the other side of the store." But you can't just say, "Oh, it's over there, man." It's part of the store guidelines that you need to walk them to where that point is. So you're like, I really want to where it is, but I know because the security guards and the HR lady watch the cameras like an absolute hawk, like just waiting for someone to break the rules. So, you know, if they catch you pointing, then you'll be called into the office to be like, why are you pointing? You should be walking. So anyway, so you say you resign yourself to your fate, and you walk into, you know, walk them over to me. Right, look at your watch. It's now 1:31. Okay, it's past my clocking time. I think I can make it. You know, even if I'm clocking in at just a minute late, I'm sure the payroll lady will understand. I'm sure the manager will understand. I'm sure the boss peeps will understand. So you start walking back, and then another customer stops you. You're like, I'm losing my patience now. So let's just say, you know, blah blah blah. You've now had, let's say, 4 customers stop you on your 1 minute walk. Well, it should have been a 1 minute walk back to the outside of the building. And 4 customers stop you, and it's now 1:38 p.m. You are now well and truly late. You know. So what do you do? Well, there's nothing much I can do. I'm just gonna clock back in. I mean, what else am I gonna do? So you clock back in and you carry on your day. Then, end of the week, or even next week, you suddenly get your manager coming up to you. In fact, you're even called up to the payroll lady. The payroll lady when I was there was absolutely lovely. So she wouldn't have done it, but she felt like she was compelled to. It was actually more the managers and the HR lady that was doing this. But it was excuse me. On this day, you had a 8-minute longer lunch break. That is absolutely unacceptable. You have stolen 8 minutes of time from the company. How dare you? So we are not paying you for those eight minutes of work because you have stolen them. Blah, blah, blah. And you were just sitting there, but like, oh well, no, I didn't have a 38-minute lunch. I had a 23-minute. I had 15 more minutes less than that. Because I kept being stopped by customers every 10 seconds on my way over to the store, you know, on my way through the store, because I get told off if I refuse their wins if I refuse them, then they will make a complaint, and as soon as they make a complaint, oh, it's all over for you, you know. And I can't point. I've got to walk them over to where they're looking for, and you know, it's just a nightmare. And the best thing, the cherry on top on all of this, is that all those people that punch in right next to the lunchroom do not have this problem, because as soon as they've clocked out for lunch, they're there. They don't gotta walk across the store and face the possibilities of being tapped on the shoulder 20 times. They don't have to worry about that. It's only the office people and the checkout people who make the sad decision of going over to the lunchroom to have their lunch. It was absolutely horrendous. And look, I can understand in a customer service job, you know, the customer comes first. But there is a big, you know, I'm all a proponent for, you know, I understand both sides of the story. At the end of the day, people are running the business. They don't want to be losing money. You want to keep your customers happy. Customers happy means they come back and they make more money. But I'm also a big fan of staff feeling like they have a fair go of it. Not feeling like you don't give a crap that anything that they say or do, you know, feeling valued. I am all for that, because when we work together in concert, then we're one big happy family. My goodness gracious. My current job at the moment, absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. You know, everyone gets along. You know, they treat you like adults. You know, if you need to take 2 minutes longer for lunch, you take 2 minutes longer for lunch. As long as you're not, you know, letting your team or any clients down. Like, yeah, go for it. It's just fabulous. It's just great. Oh, it's great. Oh, goodness. It's just, yeah, it's just like, there's no restaurant that could, like, you know, if the customer asks you to get down on your hands and knees, you know, wash the floor before they walk on it, you know, wash the areas in front of their feet so they can walk on clean floors. No, you probably have to do it, to be honest. You'd probably get told off if you didn't. It was almost to that point, you know. It was just like, bruh. You know, and then the poor sod, like, and then it just, like, you know, I was almost thinking, you know, maybe the kind of job I need is like a job with like a staff liaison, because I feel very, very, very passionate about every level of employee having been treated fairly and having the same rights is probably really strong, but like, you know, I don't like hypocrisy at all when it comes to how rules are applied. Very, 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 very strong on that. So another rule at this place. Was it a rule? No, it wasn't a rule that was written down, but it was a rule that you only knew about if you either heard someone else get told off on it or you were told off yourself. So one more, okay. So you're walking through. It might be a small town. It might be, you know, a place where everyone knows everyone. That's what they do. More often than not, you will see one of your mates or one of even your family or something at least once a week, if not multiple times a week. You know, so that's all good. So you're walking through your store. Maybe it's on your way to the lunchroom. You know, and you bump into one of your best mates. Oh my goodness, look at Jimmy. It's Jimmy. I haven't seen him in ages. So you're like, hey Jimmy, what's up? And he's like, oh my god, it's Bob, it's Timmy. You know, Timmy, how are you doing? I'm doing fabulous, Jimmy. How are you? I'm doing great. How's you finding your job? You know, the job's alright, you know. You're the first person who stopped, you know, first and hopefully the last person who stopped me on my lunch break, but that's okay. That's all good. You know, say la vie. And Jimmy's like, oh, I'm glad you're loving your new job. I'm glad. And I'm like, well, Jimmy, I've got to go. You have a fabulous day. And he's like, you know what, Timmy? Have a fabulous day as well. Let me know when you finish work and I'll come and meet you. And I'll say, well, I'll have to give you a 20-minute lead time because by the time I exit the building, it'll probably be 20 minutes after I intended to leave. So he's like, bye. Right, bye, Timmy. Bye, Jimmy. And you carry on your day. You then get called to the security office or even the HR office. And they're like, Timmy, Oh, Timmy, what have you done? We have camera footage evidence of you stopping and standing and talking to your friend for 3 minutes. What? That is 3 minutes. Far too long. You are on duty. You are working. How dare you say hi to someone? You know, how very, very dare you. That is, you have stolen even more of the company's time. You know, you decide to have 8-minute longer lunches, and then you decide to talk to your friend for 3 minutes. That is 10 whole minutes that we would have to pay you to be doing nothing. And if you're doing nothing, we're not making money, and customers aren't happy. You know. So then you get told off. You might even get a warning even. Oh, you know, your day's just gone from bad to worse. So, you know, and then, so then what will happen is, you know, some poor soul in the office, and we will, you know, hear this kid's going on. That's not bad for little Timmy's a freak, you know, and they said, oh, poor Timmy, you know, and then, so, you know, Tim will go out solemn, crying, maybe, you know, fear of losing his job, bumping into his mate. And then the office person then witnesses managers, senior managers, randos just waltz on into the office going, hey guys, how's it going? Oh my goodness. So me and my boo thing, we were doing this, and they will just go blah 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 for about 40 minutes. Just talking about every possible thing, talking about some things that I don't even really think are appropriate for a workplace. It's just my opinion. Some things about personal details of their life I don't need to know. You know, they've you know, maybe one of them's dating one of the people in the office, then they start getting all cushy. It's like, can this wait till outside of work, guys? You know, and then you get some, you know, prospective politicians, and you know, as some of the managers, you know, they've got strong political opinions. So now suddenly it turns into a little political debate about things. You know, you just sit there, and then you look out the window, and you look down at the floor, and you look at old poor Timmy, just, you know, trudging his way back to his, you know, back to his department. You know, getting an absolute earful for talking to his mate who he bumped onto, didn't even intend to go talk to, just bumped into him before you see him, you know, he's bad, got an absolute earful taken out of him. And then you look back, and there's all these managers and senior managers and store managers, assistant store managers and bosses and everyone just chatting away for like almost an hour about God knows what. Just everything and anything and all of it, and all not related to it. Maybe even it might be a little bit of gossip about people at work, you know? And then you look back out the window at Timmy and you just can't, and then you just get mad. You just get really, really mad that these old whatevers up here can just go blah 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 all day long. You know. And the thing is, and you are allowed to be part of that as well. If you go blah 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 all day long, then you know, no repercussions for you. You may even be like, oh, look at that, I can just get something from the office. You know. But at the end of the day, no matter even if you can reap the benefits of that or not, poor old Timmy there could lose his job because of it. Because he talked to someone for 3 minutes. And that I take massive umbrage with completely. If it's for one, it's for all, you know. And they also made very, very, very clear that, you know, office people should be treated, and you know, the rules apply to office people just as much as they do to the floor people. You know, the floor people, you're not allowed food in your departments, and rightly so, you know, food safety concerns and whatnot. Oh my goodness, hello. Sup? What's good? Hello. Oh my goodness. I haven't had a raid in like months. Oh my goodness, thank you. Yeah, here's a bit much though. Oh my goodness, thank you all. I don't know what to say. Oh my goodness. A little bot. Oh my god. I appreciate it. I'm trying. I actually tried a new hair routine earlier today, so. What have I got next? We can see. You just caught me. I'm guessing he's kind of like the person in the group that just like makes some random comments and everyone else is just like, what? Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to break your heart a little bit, sir, and say I'm taken. I do apologize. Mate, you can try all you want. Oh my goodness, everyone's getting confused. Guys. Can we all be friends? We could all be friends, I'm sure. The only fighting going on here should be in the game. Okay, before things get like a bit too like I appreciate this is probably the most active my chat's ever been. I do appreciate that. But I must say, as soon as things start getting a bit of as soon as things start getting as soon as there's anyone talking about, you know, I don't really know. Oh, clicked off my game. Okay, all I'll say is, if I hear one more, like, if anyone's beating up anyone, should I say, I'll have to put my foot down. New Zealand. Little old island called New Zealand. Is Red Lobster is Red Lobster like I'm guessing it's an American food chain? sure. I'm guessing it's pronounced Blickster. Sure thing.
これが二代目火影千獣扉魔の力だ。
I mean, untouched. Truly, I am. You know, I'll steal that blurb and and tell it to my BF. I'll be like, yo, I've finally been able to put into words how I feel about you. Yeah, it's all good. You're just stunned. Okay, right. I think after this, I'm just gonna call it a call it a day for you guys. Just one second. Just let me just finish my fight here. One second. Oh no, I'm not calling it a day for me. I'm calling it a day for you guys. Just let me do one. Right, there we go. Oh, don't get that a girl. Let's see what we got. And and there. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh my goodness, how do I exit out of my thing? There we go. Oh, hello. Oh wait, no, you're one of the original OG peeps. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just getting frustrated with the others. I do not want harsh language. I don't want annoying stuff like that, essentially. And as soon as anyone starts throwing any kind of like screw you or whatever to each other, because I am trying to create a place of love, peace and harmony. As much it's all good. It's as much as I'm prepared, you know, I'm prepared for that sort of stuff. It's the interwebs. It's gonna happen. One day or another you're just gonna get some randos who are just, you know, trying to troll. Whatever. I'm all bits. I appreciate the thought. I do. But I got it. anything, I'm just glad, like, I mean, the one silver lining, I guess, is that my chat's never been more active. I'll say that much. Oh goodness. And it's distracted me from my big supermarket rant as well. Look, I remember I was getting so heated about my rubbish job, and then about my previous rubbish job, and I just got completely just like snapped out of my train. Train of thought. Anyway, we are back. We are back to normalcy. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, I was talking about Timmy and there's Timmy and Jimmy and hypocrisy when it comes to rules and code of conduct. Oh, I found it was actually during that whole during that last trip that I learnt many a thing about how HR principles at a business can and can't be applied. So one is, excuse me. One is, if you were ever, if the HR policy of a department of a business, should I say, if they ever, so something that a lot of them will do is they'll come up, let's say they've updated the cybersecurity policies, they've updated the uniform policy, whatever. They will print them all out, or they should read print them all out, but they'll go to every employee in the place, has to read it, and then sign a piece of paper to say, I have read it, and I understand it, and I agree to this being applied, and I will follow it from now on. So, technically, you would think that you were the only person that, you'd think you're the only person that can, you'd think that the only thing you can do is, you have to sign it. Like, you have to sign it. No matter even if you agree with it or not, you have to sign it. But, alas, you actually are not legally obliged to sign that piece of paper. So let's say you read the uniform policy and it says, I'm sorry, but slippers are not allowed. And you're just like, that does not sit right with me. That does not sit right with me at all. I don't agree to that. I do not agree to that at all. You do not have to sign that piece of paper at all. You can hand it back and say, look, I acknowledge your policy and I don't agree with it and I don't feel comfortable signing it. Now, you would think that what would happen then is that policy no longer applies to you because you haven't agreed to it. But there you were wrong. It's that if you don't sign that piece of paper, the policy still applies to you. It is still a policy that applies to your workplace and you work at the workplace, so therefore the policy affects you and you do need to follow it. You can be reprimanded if you don't follow policy. But all that happens beyond that is that it should be on record somewhere. They have to maintain a record and say that this person did not sign that policy. And that's it. Like, that's literally all it is. You can, I don't know if that, I haven't read as far in so much as does that defend you from anything. Maybe if it got into a battle of semantics isn't like, oh, but you said, you agreed to this policy, you'd be like, oh, no, I didn't agree to anything. Maybe that might defend you in some cases, possibly, maybe. But you can still break the rules of a policy that you haven't signed. And that is my TED talk on signing pieces of paper to say that you've read business policies. For anyone and everyone that cares. If you found that information useful, then I'm glad. It's just one of those random tidbits that I've just picked up. Yeah. Yeah, but long story short, when it comes to workplace things, I'm just very, very hyper aware of, you know, oh sorry, we're allowed to do this, but we will tell you off for doing the exact same thing, you know. And I understand that, like, you know, there are some things that a manager or a higher up, even then, like, the manager should be able to get away with things that an employee would get told off for, unless it was like for actual proper legit reasons, you know. But yeah, so, you know, and I keep thinking, like, because that is something I'm so passionate about, you know, is a job in HR for me, like should, you know, because an HR should be the gateway between the people and the bosses, you know. But then I'm thinking, oh, actually, you know, everyone starts HR with that, you know, with that wide-eyed, dreamy, you know, the wide-eyed, you know, I'm gonna change businesses for the better, and then next minute, you don't, and then you realize once you get into it that HR is actually you're just helping fuel the wheel that keeps turning, you know. You're telling off people more than you're helping them, which is always sad to see. And then you realise, oh wait, my job is not to be the gateway between the people and the bosses. Mine's meant to be I enact the boss's will. They tell me what to do and I enact their will. And there are workplaces that genuinely do actually care about how you're treated and how you is, you know, and generally the HR departments in those places should, you know, or a lot of those places actually contract out to like HR, you get HR like, contractors, you know, so those sort of companies generally contract out. But they're usually good. They actually, like, there's like the few, there are businesses out there that do exist that do actually use HR the right way, not as a tool of control, you know, but as a tool of cooperation. Have I played this game? No, I haven't. I'm just trying to remember. So it should be an odd numbered fight on this one. Yeah, okay, that's right. Oh my goodness. And then, oh my goodness, getting back to the health and safety there. Oh my god, gracious. We had, and it's like, thank goodness that this lady wasn't, you know, was actually, like, nice, non-confrontational, should I say. There was a lady that, she had something fall on her in the store. And then she got like a big gash on her leg because she was of the older persuasion, and their skin falls apart as soon as you touch it. So she got a giant gash on her leg. She had to go to hospital, which, we're talking about health and safety paperwork. Oh, going to hospital is like, oh, that's like an extra 20. Add another extra 20 pieces of paper to your stash for stuff on her leg. So then we found out she got discharged from the hospital. That's all good. And then we found out she had to go back to hospital because the scar on her leg got infected. And we're just like, oh, slap another 20 pieces of paper to the pile of paperwork. Because now we've entered the territory of, because it's gone so pear-shaped, this cut on her leg, she's had to go to the hospital twice, we now have to involve, like, the authority, like, not the authorities as in, like, the police or anything, but, you know, like, the health and safety peeps of New Zealand. Because, you know, oh my goodness, everyone's freaking out, it was, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. And then we found out that, because one of our team went and saw, like, visited her at her house, just, you know, putting her flowers in, you know, whatever. And the place was such an absolute state that no wonder her thing got infected, because anything with the paper cut would get infected in that place. And so with that revelation, which got added to part of our investigation, because her leg injury was only developed by something not out of our control, that big 20 stack of paper got a couple of pieces of paper thinner. It was great. And I'm just thinking, well, 100 pieces of paper left for one thing falling on someone on the back of their leg, fill like 100 pieces of paper and have to call it head offices and whatever. It was just an absolute bloody nightmare. And again, I'm out of my depth, because me being the anxious introvert that I am, hates calling people. I'd rather text and email 50 times before I have to pick up the phone. You know, so that was always like, my heart's pounding, and, you know, only exacerbated by the pure fact that what might happen is, because we're dealing with the general public here, I might have to deal with an angry customer on the other side of the line. And then I'm just like fully like, okay, I'm right now, because I'm so like, oh goodness, oh man, it was something else. That place was something else. Oh goodness. You know, I'm sure not all supermarkets are like that. I'm sure there's a lot of supermarkets that are absolutely lovely places to work. But I don't know if it was just this one in particular, or like, you know, half the supermarkets are like this and half aren't. But like, oh, gracious, never again. You know, and I had told myself before, you know, I'm never going to work in a supermarket. I had told myself that was going to be the case, and then of course I found myself in a supermarket. But this is like definitely like wild horses could not drag me down. You know, you attach a planet-sized weight to my legs, and I'm not going back. I will be able to withstand it, but the pure force of will of not wanting to go back. Oh man. Anyway, that is my supermarket rant over. I mean, I'm sure I could think of like 50 more stories to tell. My goodness, we'll be here for like 5 hours. That can be fed through drips and drabs through later streams. Oh. Alright, we'll go next. I might actually update my list, because we're now down to 23. Getting down to, oh yeah, we're getting down to 8,900. Alright. We're the next May. That's a character we haven't played as for a while. May and last. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, so my hair is super boofy today. Super fabulous. So I have discovered and am attempting a thing called the curly girl method, which is some hairdresser somewhere, assuming in America, came up with a way of looking after curly hair that if you follow this method after, you know, following it for ages, you're not going to see results straight away, but it's like weeks, months. some cases years to see proper results. But what it's meant to do is it's meant to re-energize your hair, make your curls fabulous, and you just be looking fresh and fruity. So I decided I spent $105 on hair products specifically that are going to look after my hair, and so I had to buy 5 different things. So basically the curling method in basic steps is and it'll work, like there'll be variations of it depending on what actually works for your hair, because everyone's not a one size fits all. There'll be bits that you can use of it, basically just a trial and error. Well, it's not actually properly trial and error, but anyway, I digress. So basically, you know, no to brushes, no brushes on your hair, no, I say normal combs, like combs with like lots of teeth. It has to be wide tooth combs that you can use on here, or you just straight up use your fingers to detangle. No comb in your hair, no brush in your hair. No heating irons, no dyes, no nothing. You know, it's just old natural. Also, basically the big thing is that conditioners and shampoos and hair products have things called compounds called sulfates in them. And I think I want to say they're like close to not close to salts, but like imagine like baby salts in your hair. So these things have sulfates, and basically what sulfates do is dry your hair out. That's why like generally after you shampoo, your hair feels a lot drier than it used to. It feels almost like straw-like. That's what sulfates do. Curly hair, just the way it is not like, it loses moisture way quicker than straight hair does. So your hair will dry out, like, will just lose, it just needs to be hydrated all the time because it loses hydration in an instant. So sulfates are only going to make that even worse. So your hair is now damaged and it's just like frazzled and it's just awful. So the curling method says no, big X, to sulfates. If you know, none to that. It also says no to silicons and waxes. So if your shampoo and your conditioner says, yo, we got silicons and yo, we got waxes, no, none of that. Because that stuff, what that stuff does is, yeah, it makes it feel silky smooth. But what it does is it can't actually rinse out properly in water. So when you like rinse your hair, it doesn't actually wash that stuff out fully. So what happens then is just over time, like days and days and weeks of using all this silicone stuff, your hair now just has all this this stuff just still in it, and it just weighs your hair down, and it makes your hair, and it just leads to your hair just getting munted over time. So we say big X to silicons and waxes. So with all that being said and done, so most shampoos will have those stuff in it, so we say no to shampoo. And instead, we wash our hair with special conditioners that don't have sulfates, silicons or waxes, called co-washing. And then what we want to do is when our hair is, so most people what they do is, like, I'm assuming, I'm not actually, before all this I was not a hair aficionado, in fact I wasn't even a beauty aficionado at all. Couldn't tell you a single thing about how to apply makeup or anything like that. So this is all new for me. Is what most people, I'm assuming, did was, like after you come out of the shower, you dry your hair, and then you put your styling products in it, your leave-in hair gels or whatever, when your hair's dry. What you're meant to do, the curling method, is you're meant to put all that stuff in when your hair's still wet, like sopping wet. So once you wash out your conditions, the conditioner that you're washing your hair out with, you rinse it out, and then you put your styling products in, and you don't like comb it through your hair or brush it through your hair. You like use your fingers or a wide-toothed comb to do it. And so you push all that in. You're supposed to rake, squish, and scrunch. So you're supposed to like rake it through your hair, squish it into like the middle parts of your hair, and then like scrunch your hair up against your thing. Basically what that does is it just like, it keeps the curls, keeps you from like ripping your curls, not ripping your curls apart, but like breaking how your curls naturally form. So you do all that, you put your product in, and then that's it. You just leave it on. I think then you can put some, depending on what you're wanting to achieve, you can put some other stuff in your hair as well that you leave in. Essentially that's it, and you do that, and you're supposed to do that once a week. You don't wash your hair. Don't wash your hair any other time. You just do that once a week. What you then do on like the days that you're not washing your hair is you do you kind of just like put in some revitalizing spray, just spray some stuff on it just to keep it going. But you do that, and then like that's pretty much, I think, like the main gist of it. They just keep it there, and they say if you accidentally use a conditioner that's got sulfates or silicons or whatever, you basically get a really good shampoo that kind of just resets your hair. You get like a really cleansing one. It can have sulfates in it, go for it if you want. Basically it just completely resets your hair, and then you start the process all over again. But that should, in theory, supposedly, and there have been pictures of people with it, they've got fantastic results. Oh my goodness. There is, once you just keep doing that, your hair is just going to be looking fresh, it's going to be looking fabulous, your curls are just going to love you for it, and your hair's going to be silky smooth and shiny and bouncy and lovely and amazing. So I have started my curly girl method journey. I bought $105 worth of clothes. I bought 5 different things. I bought like the reset shampoo. I bought 2 conditioners, a detangling conditioner and an intensive conditioner that I put in, like wash my hair with, and then I bought like a curl which I put in afterwards, and then I bought like a 5-in-1 curl spray which I spray in on my off days. And I mean, I just started it last night. I did the reset whatever thing last night. And then put everything in, and I must say it looks better than I thought it did. My hair was very buffy today, but I suppose it's just going to get, while my hair is going to sort itself out, it's just going to get buffier. But it says, like, don't expect this to, like, this is going to take, like, weeks, if not months, to actually, like, properly make the difference. So I've just got to keep at it, but it means that, because for me, who's been washing my hair, like, almost every day for like the last like 4 years, it's gonna be a mish to not wash my hair. But like, and the other thing too is that like now that they've said all this stuff, I'm like, oh my god, that makes completely sense why my hair was an absolute state. Like if I didn't leave conditioner in my hair, like the normal conditioner I'll get, if I didn't leave it in my hair overnight, like my hair would be just absolute complete mess at the point. It's just frizz upon frizz. It's just like someone's died on my hair. It was insane. So I had to leave conditioner in, but then because these conditioners probably have all these waxes and silicons and whatever, there's just all this like grimy build-up on my hair, and I'll be like, you feel my scalp, and I was like, oh my god, what is this, all this like stuff on my head, and it was just nasty. So now that I'm like washing all that stuff off and just putting curl creams on my hair, it's gonna be like, it's gonna happen overnight. And because it's not silicons and waxes, it's actually gonna wash out on my next wash. It's gonna be fabulous. I'm actually, for the first time in my life, gonna have hair that like looks cared for, looks normal and fresh and fruity. Come on. There we go. There it is. Yeah, so I've started my curly girl journey. So I'm thinking, even though I did it yesterday, which is Wednesday night, I think I might do another wash. I'm probably not going to wait a week. I'm probably going to do it on Sunday or something, because we do actually have a long weekend this weekend, thank goodness. Goodness. Oh, come on, how did that not... Oh my goodness. Bruh. Oh my goodness, that was awful. That was awful. I hate playing as this character so much. Anyway, Sakura and Zabuza. Right, we're getting back to some normalcy. Golly gracious. Yeah, anyway, so hopefully over time my hair is just going to get curlier and better. It's more shiny smooth. But what it also means is that because normally what I'd do is, because when I condition my hair, I would like comb it, like use a not a white tooth comb, a full teeth comb, to like comb it all the way down. So then it was quite like flat on top. But what that would mean then is like when I put it into a ponytail, you know, it doesn't all scrunch up at the top. So I was always very conscious of my hair being like big. But the curly girl method, my curls, they're gonna be bumpy, they're gonna be voluptuous. So I've got to find hairstyles that like make my hair not look buffy, but still like not sort of damaging, like not damaging the curl structure, I guess. Basically long story short, it's got a long journey ahead of me, but journey, hair journey. And it's also going to be a very expensive journey too, because hair products are not going to warehouse. So probably why I've stuck with just basic supermarket conditioners my whole life, is because they were the most cost-effective option. Okay, Zabuza. Oh goodness. Oh, and I'm so excited for tomorrow. Am I excited? Yeah, I am excited. I keep hyping myself up. With the what's it? Tomorrow's stream, because I finished Spider-Man. Tomorrow's stream will be the Outer Wilds. I'm actually really excited for it. I love story-heavy games. I love exploration. I love like, puzzle solving, mystery. Apparently this game has it all. I'm really excited for it. And the only gameplay I've watched is the scary anglefish stuff, just so I know what I'm doing. Other than that, I haven't seen anything of it. Everyone's saying it's an absolutely brilliant game, so I'm very, very excited for it. Just gotta wait for this big Tracradation, lady. There we go. Thank you. Lovely. Alright, we'll go next. We got Shikamaru and Yokota. Bam. Yeah, because then I've got to think, because I've got Outer Wilds on thing. I think that my initial plan was to do Saturday to be, because I try and do like my PS games on Friday and my Xbox games on Saturdays. But I've just got a feeling that I'm going to want to just keep playing the Outer Wilds the whole way through, like all the time. Which I'm thinking, do I? Because what have I got? I've got like a good like, what's it, like 49 days? It's 49 days till God of War, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll do my Assassin's Creed stuff on Saturday. And I'll do my Outer Wilds stuff on Fridays. And then if I'm really getting into Outer Wilds, then I'll do that on Saturdays as well. I'll base myself out. Because the Outer Wilds, because I know I've been playing like some smaller games, I would say smaller games. Like Forgotten City was only 5-6 hours. Same with Superliminal was only 3-4 hours. Spider-Man was actually not that long. Probably 10 hours of that. It was actually a very big game. You know, Assassin's Creed obviously, you know, bigger game. But doing DLCs on that, that was like the base story. Even then, there's still, I think Dawn of Ragnarok's still a good 30 hours. Yeah, so I think, you know, Outer Wilds is well, it's as long as you want it to be. But, I think it'll be a good like 15, I think. Somewhere between like 20 and 30 hours, I think. Yeah. So that will be starting tomorrow. Because I'm not going on my big international trip, so there won't be a big 2-week lapse. So then, because Saturday, of course, yeah, because Saturday might be, no, Sunday, no, this weekend, even though it's a long weekend, I think this weekend will be a normal streaming weekend. And then Monday can just be a complete. Oh no, I hate them. Why do I think I was finishing? I was like, oh no, I got hit by the ultimate. I'm like, wait, I didn't hit that. It was my ultimate. I lose my marbles. A normal streaming as well. The following week I'll be on holiday just to do nothing. So I might even do like full stream days. We'll see. See what the haps is. Oh goodness. We'll go next. Sasuke Eternal Sharingan. And Hida. God. We had such a good streak like the last couple of days of this where we had like just a full mix of characters. It was like no character we did twice. It was great. And now we're just getting it's just the Hidan show, the Shikamaru show, the Punkuro show, and the Pain show is just oh, I didn't realize the retrace was so big. Oh, and I was also thinking too, because I was thinking about what do I want in my Discord, because I'm like trying to look at like what do you have on your Discord, and they're like, you have like these 30 channels. I'm like, whoa, okay, like half of these I don't particularly see any need for either at the moment or just got no interest in the other channels. I was thinking, because I was thinking, oh, you do like have stream ideas, you know, people do suggestions what you want. Then I was thinking, I don't want this to be like people talking around and about me in particular. That just, I feel like that's not what I'm trying to get at, not what I'm wanting. I really need to be in a fan club. And so I was thinking, so I turned my idea for like a stream idea to like just a general like game ideas, because I am all for like, if I love a game and I think a game should be played by many people, I will shout it from the rooftops. I'll be like, guys, play this game. It is fabulous, you know. And I'm sure everyone else who loves games, or even if you're not like super into games, there'll always be those one or two that you're just like, oh my goodness, this is a fantastic. Why is everyone not playing this? You know. So I was thinking, I'd have like a channel where if you've got an idea of a game that you think is fantastic, or even just a game that you just want to gush about, like you just want to write like a 10-page essay on why it's the best game ever and the best piece of art that's ever been created in the whole world, like here is the space to do so. You know, what games do you recommend others to play? Like, do we always have like a little, like, not necessarily like a book club, you know, book club, and here's the game for everyone to play until next week, because you know, some people think like buying games all the time isn't a liberty for some people, and that's fine, like, you know, but yeah, but just like some ideas. So I set up like little like game ideas channel in the Discord, but like, and it's game ideas for each other, it's game ideas for the stream, and it's, you know, all that sort of thing. So I was thinking like that could be good. And then I was thinking, because when I start my leaderboard of Ultimate Deliciousness next year, starting January 1st, 2023, will be the leaderboard of Ultimate Deliciousness, where I rate and we create a leaderboard of the ice creams, frozen yogurts, sorbets, coconut ice creams, whatever, that are ultimately delicious, and we rate them, and they're on a giant leaderboard for people's viewing pleasure. And so I was thinking, you know, I want to make that a bit more visible and accessible to people, even off the stream, because I'll be doing my, you know, here's the ice cream that we're trying today, or the frozen yogurt, or the whatever that we're trying today, and I'll be doing that like live. But, you know, for people who can't, you know, who generally can't make it, or, you know, they just, you know, they don't mind not watching the thing, they just want to know the results, then I can make that leaderboard like more visible, because I'm doing it on Google Sheets just so I can whip it out on my phone if anyone's curious, you know. If any of like my mates on my work colleagues are curious, I can whip it out. Yeah, but then, you know, have it as a Google Sheet that, you know, people like probably lock of editing, so something no one can just go and have an absolute field day on it. But yeah, and then I was thinking, well, because, you know, why, like, what is, you know, the reason for me doing the leaderboard for Ultimate Deliciousness is because I am an absolute fan. I'm a stan, I'm an absolute, you know, SLET for frozen dairy treats and just desserts in general. Like, you give me a dessert, I'll have a dessert for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and second dessert. 3 desserts, second dessert, 10 desserts, I don't care, just give it to me. Anything sweet, I'm there. You know, my heart and my arteries don't like that particularly much, but, you know, you're a good one. Yeah, so I was thinking, do I do like a dessert ideas, or like similar to how, you know, giving a space for people to recommend games to each other, do I create one for ice creams, or for like desserts, or for like something like that, like, you know. And we're in a world where everyone's got their taste. There'll be people who are like, screw ice creams, I don't want to join your little ice cream club. And they'll be like, well, what do you like? And they're like, I like vegan chocolate desserts. I'm like, well, why don't you suggest that to people? It is open for anyone, as long as your thing is a sweet confectionery or frozen dairy delight, or just anything that could be classified as like a dessert, or like a biscuit, a cake, a muffin, a tart, a flan, a custard pie, a lemon meringue pie, meringues, macarons, slices, donuts, anything, you know, anything that is a sweetie treat it's all game. Like, you go for it. If you have it and you love it and you recommend it, we want to know about it. Like, that is, I want to spread. I want to make this a world where people enjoy sweet treats. And if you are one of the unfortunate people who has some kind of, like, you just can't eat sugar for whatever reason, you know, you're on keto or you're on whatever, you know, let's say you're on keto diet, you can't have sugar, like, you know, things made with sugar. I'll be like, wow, is there any keto desserts you have? I know that I had, I know what did I have? I made a cheesecake, less than 20 grams of carbs. It was fantastic. I made it with like the Splenda, like the sugar substitute, you know, make it with alternatives. You're on a special diet? Well, give us your sugar alternatives. As long as it's sweet, even if it's just a nice fruit salad, I want to know about it. Basically just anything that's not savoury. And we're going to have a sweet treats ideas. I might even call it sweet treats ideas rather than dessert. You know, and I want to know about it. And also that can then feed into the leaderboard of ultimate deliciousness, because if there is an ice cream or something that would fit on the leaderboard of ultimate deliciousness that I haven't tried yet and can also be sourced in New Zealand, first off, let me know about it, because if you think it's worthy of being on the leaderboard of ultimate deliciousness, then I need to know about it. You know, I want to try it. This will be second Tsuchikage in my last fight. Alright, and then last one for the day. Actually, I was even thinking, on my leaderboard of ultimate deliciousness, you know, to further enforce that this isn't just the me show, you know, I'm trying to think of ideas or ways that I could basically have kind of like, you know how there's like, you know, they'll have the People's Choice Awards essentially, like, so I will have, you know, need a way of there being some kind of like public voting system or suggestions that people put in, you know, people vote on them, or, you know, we tally up how many times something is voted on, or like people mention something, or just something that can like involve everyone, so everyone has, you know, everyone has contributed to the leaderboard of ultimate deliciousness in some way, shape or form. Like I'm thinking of ideas of what to do around that, so when it goes live, hopefully by the time it goes live, I'll have found what that thing will be. Oh, this is getting blocked even more progressively. Okay. Goodness gracious. Sorry if that sounds awful. So I think I will call it a day here. So as I said, tomorrow night, hopefully I'll be streaming normal time. 7:30, 10:30 will be the Outer Wilds. I'm very, very, very excited to play it. Saturday will be hopefully normal time again. Possibly. We'll see. The Dawn of Ragnarok DLC for Valhalla. And then Sunday morning should be day 35 of this as normal. But anyway, as I said, thank you very, very, very much for joining me. Hopefully my cold has gotten better by tomorrow's stream. You don't have to hear me sniffing every 10 seconds. But yeah, I hope you all have a fabulous morning, afternoon or night, wherever you may so be. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!